right, here we go. Here we go. We are on. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris, man. About to talk to Paloma. Here she go. Is it Villicana? So here we go. About to talk to her. Fox News reporter, host of UNLV, the Redzone, and all that. Good morning. Mm. Oh, can't hear you. No audio? Oh,
Let's see. I think I can hear you now.
okay, I can hear you. Hi, good morning. How you doing?
Okay, great. Hi. Good morning. I just woke up. I work I work super late on Sundays. Um I work at night. So
I
mornings
understand.
are like rough, but
I understand.
um yeah, so where are you?
So I'm located now in Atlanta, Georgia. Um,
Okay, cool.
yeah, and I too work overnight. I didn't last night, but
Yeah.
I do work overnight tonight. So I typically work 9 to 9. I work for the lottery,
Wow.
so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So that's what I do.
Cool.
Um,
Very cool.
yeah, so I can definitely understand the late nights for sure. I want to say thank you for allocating your
Yeah.
time. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Uh, before I start like peppering you with questions and give you a chance to wake up and sip some more sips of that coffee.
I know, like yeah, mornings are not for me, but I feel like there are games in the mornings, like I just got to get with it.
I
So,
understand. Hey, it's okay. It happens to us all.
mhm.
I'm a huge juice drinker. I never had a cup of coffee in my life, so I'm
Huh,
a
okay.
juice type of drinker, like grape or apple. Those are my favorites to pick
Yeah.
me up in the morning. So I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think coffee does anything for me anymore, but I still drink it. I still drink it.
how are you and your family doing during these pandemic times?
Yeah, they're good. So my whole family's from California. I'm from San Diego, so my whole family is in California, and it's crazy because California is like locked down.
Mm.
Like there's nothing open. Like the
Right,
restaurants aren't open. Like there's just nothing open. And meanwhile, here in Vegas, like everything's open.
right,
So I think it's crazy right now that like each state is living completely different.
right.
Like it's weird that we don't have like a countrywide country, just all the same rules. Like each state is living a whole different world. So I think that's crazy.
Oh, you and me both. And to just to make sure, the pronounced name is it Paloma or is it
Mhm.
Paloma?
Paloma. Uh-huh.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, we're open here too in Georgia, and I still have
Yeah.
cousins out there in San Diego. They said that they're locked down.
Uh-huh.
I told you I'm from San Diego as well. Went to elementary, middle, and high school out there, so um, I have a lot of ties to San Diego. So
Yeah.
I love that city. I love the West Coast, period. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, let me introduce you to myself, and let me tell you
Yeah.
why I wanted to reach out to you as well. Um,
Sure. Yeah.
my name is Chris, as you know. I'm a senior
Mhm.
in college. Um, my major is
Okay.
journalism and emerging media. Um, I'm a professional writing minor as well. Um, I'm also a staff writer for our school magazine, and I'm a sports
Cool.
a radio co-host for our school
Cool.
radio station. Um,
Love that.
yeah, absolutely. And ooh, excuse me. I've also done some stringing as a sports correspondent last fall, covering high school
Mhm.
football games. Did about 11 games, so we'll cover
Okay.
the games and recaps
Yeah.
and interview people and do stuff like that. Um, so I love sports with a passion. Always have.
Yeah.
From my dad, from my mom, and growing up in San Diego, we used to play a lot of rec leagues and high schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I reached out to you for a couple of reasons. One,
Yeah.
I saw that you are a Fox 5 Vegas sports reporter.
Mhm.
You also host your own show for the UNLV.
I do.
So that's likewise. Those are some of the things that I would like to do as far as reporting, writing, hosting. Those are
Yeah.
things that I see myself in the future doing somewhere. You're also in Vegas, which is one of the best spots in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere on the West Coast,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is great because I'm a West Coast kid and I love it.
Yeah.
So that's also a reason why I wanted to reach out. I feel like you're a very talented professional in the game. You're also around my age,
Thank
which is
you.
pretty great too. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that I've reached out
Yeah.
to that are much older than we are,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and that's great too because I love having mentors and love having people to go to and talk to that's veterans in the
Mhm.
game. But it's always great to talk to somebody that's around your age as well
Yeah.
that has experience as well. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you. Plus, you're from San Diego, so how can I
Yeah.
not talk to another person from San Diego? This is what's up. All
Yeah.
right.
I went to Poway. I went to
Oh no. I think I lost you.
Okay. I
We're
lost
back.
you for a second, but I'm back.
Okay, cool. I heard you went to Poway and it went black.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, I started in San Diego. I don't know if you remember the PPR, or like the Prep Pigskin Report,
Yeah.
for football. So I worked for them in high school. So
Okay.
I was like interning and like shadowing and like
Mm-hmm.
on the sidelines with PPR.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was like, okay, I want to be a sports reporter. Like it's done. Like
Okay, okay, because that actually
so
segues into the first question. Because I was going to ask you what made you or inspired you
yeah.
to want to become a sports reporter. I mean, is this something that you wanted to do as like a kid, or was it just like that? You just got into the PPR and then you just said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I wanted to do that."
Yeah, so my high school, we won 2 state championships, and it was so much fun to, like,
Yeah.
go to CIF state championship and everything, and
Right.
I was doing a lot of stuff with PPR, and, like, KUSI in San Diego, they would, like, let me interview the Padres, they let me interview Philip Rivers, and I'm,
Yeah.
like, 15, like
Wow.
16,
Yeah.
15,
Yeah.
17. And I'm like, hey, Philip Rivers, like, what? And so in high school, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, this is what I'm doing. I
Right.
guess I'll move all over the country for this damn job. But so then in high school, I started looking up colleges with sports broadcasting. Like, I just wanted to do sports. I
Yeah.
didn't want to do journalism or communications, or I just didn't. I wanted to do sports broadcasting. So I only applied to colleges that had sports media, sports broadcasting. And TCU had a program, a really good sports broadcasting program, where my freshman year at TCU, I was covering the football team, the basketball team, the
Mm.
baseball team, and like on the sidelines, like doing stand ups, like interviewing coaches. And that
Okay.
was my freshman year. So,
Yeah.
like, I did 4 years of like sideline reporting at TCU. And I feel like that gave me like a lot of experience make a reel and like go out in the world and like get my feet wet. But I have to credit TCU because I started. Oh, you know what, Chris? I
Yeah.
have to take this phone call, but can I call you right back?
Yeah, you're good. No problem.
Okay, I'm so sorry. This is my work, so I just want to take it.
No, it's okay. You're good.
It will be like 2 minutes and I'll call you right back.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, here we go. All right.
Okay, I'm back.
You're good.
I'm very sorry. I really apologize.
No, it's
Um,
okay. No problem. Work
yeah,
call.
you
I
know,
I understand.
one thing I can tell you is like when you start getting into this industry, your phone goes off
Hmm.
all day, every day. You
Mm.
have to apologize to your family and your friends. Like,
Mm.
I cannot talk right now.
Right, right. Business calls. I totally
And
understand.
my mom's like, "Oh, you're always working," and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, it's
Right,
only gonna get worse when I get to ESPN and like all these
right,
other places.
right. When
I'm
you
like,
get higher and higher, yeah.
my life's only gonna get crazier from here. So, but yeah, I think I was talking about TCU and trying to get as much experience in as much as possible. But what kind of things does your school offer, like sports reporting wise?
Well, for me, starting out, I actually didn't want to do sports reporting. I mean, I love sports. Don't get me wrong, I always have. But I was a guy that I loved children, and I wanted to teach. So I wanted to become a math teacher at first. I just
Okay.
felt like, looking at some of the movies they used to look at and the teachers having an impact in children's lives, I was like, well, damn, that might be pretty cool to do something like that. But unfortunately, I graduated from Kearney High School, the
Okay.
Science Connection and Technology School of that, and then
Cool.
I wanted to go to San Diego State. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm never leaving this city. This is so
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
what other place you want to be? You want to go to the beach, you
Yeah.
can go to the beach. It rains
Yeah.
literally 20 days a year
Yeah.
in San Diego,
Yeah.
right? So, unfortunately, my family had some circumstances and some things happened to where I had to move with them out here to Georgia, and then I started looking into Georgia State, and then I
Mhm.
eventually fell into what my school is now, Kennesaw State. Um,
Mhm.
so, like I said, I started out in math, but then all of a sudden I had to make a decision if I want to do calculus and pre-calculus and trigonometry, and I'm like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to do all that. I'm good at math, but I don't know if I want to do all that. Like, I love children, so we need to kind of figure out what the hell we want to do.
It's
So,
really funny. I feel you. So
right, right. So my thing was cut the math, and then let's get a certificate in coaching, which eventually I will do,
Mhm.
and then let's
Yeah.
go to the journalism side. Um,
Mhm.
and for them, for journalism, my thing was just to try to get experience because everybody that I
Mhm.
talked to, especially early on, everybody had a
Mhm.
resume of something that they did. Whether it was on a
Yeah.
production side in front of the camera, and I had done nothing. So I wanted to
Yeah.
get some reps. So my thing was
Mhm.
to go to the magazine and say, hey, I'm a writer. I love to write stories. Um,
Mhm.
and I wanted to go to the magazine because I just didn't want to do sports stories. I wanted to do feature stories, interviews, and cover different
Yeah.
things. So I've done feature stories with athletes. I've
Oh,
done interviews with
cool.
athletes, but I've also done philanthropy articles as well
Mhm.
for the sororities that were doing different things in the community. So
Yeah.
then from there, my school had like an internship. So for a project class of mine, I interviewed the sports editor of the Marietta Daily Journal out here, a publication.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get on the internship though because I was a little bit late in signing up. But I sent him some of my writings, and then what happened after that was he hit me back in the fall and he said, "Hey, Chris, what you think about covering some high school football games?" And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Hell yeah! I mean,
Yeah.
well, why not?"
Especially in Georgia. That's
Right?
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, I'm all go. So
Yeah.
that's how pretty much it progressed. I stayed on continuing through my years because now I'm in
Mhm.
my senior year. Through my years of writing for the Peak magazine, but I've
Nice.
also covered some high school football games this past fall. And now
Nice.
I'm in a couple classes where I got to pick up some other skills, which is editing and producing, which
Yeah.
is probably the two skills I
Uh
least like the most.
I I can tell you, like, editing, once you start learning it, you are going to edit forever.
mm, mm,
Until you're like, Stephen A. Smith, who just walks on the set and is
right,
like, I'm here, but
right.
yeah, I appreciate like all the editing and production skills I learned in college because you're gonna need to know that, like,
Right,
and you're gonna have to do it fast when you're
right,
like out of school. So,
right.
so what do you know? What system they're gonna teach you on editing?
Yeah, probably more than likely
Mhm.
Premiere Pro, and
Okay.
Adobe, some more Adobe
Yeah,
stuff.
they're
I
all
just know
bad.
in a news video production, I'm like, okay, they said we're gonna do some editing and producing, and I'm like, that's
Yeah,
cool. Um,
yeah,
But I'm like, let me get in front of the camera. Let me anchor. Let me report. Let me do that. 'Cause
yeah,
that's what I love to do. I love talking to
yeah,
wonderful people like yourself. That's what I
yeah,
love to do, the interview. So, but you're right. You're going to have those skills because the more versatile you are, the more equipped the company
yeah.
is willing to hire you. So it's pretty cool.
Is there any opportunity at your school for you to do stand-ups on your own, like just renting a camera or, checking out a camera or anything?
Um, well, now because of the COVID stuff that's going on,
Yeah,
it's really restricted. I believe early on,
yeah,
before this, I would definitely say
yeah,
yes, but my mindset wasn't even on that, and I wasn't thinking about
yeah,
it as hard until I got into my senior year. Because my main
yeah.
thing was I just wanted to perfect my writing and get better at it, and I've gotten better
Hmm.
at it. But
Yeah,
now I understand that I need other skills as well. But
yeah,
because of COVID, it's a little hard to do that now to just straight up get
yeah.
in
I
and present.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
um, yeah, we're definitely gonna get some skills. We're definitely gonna get some stuff in front of the camera, and definitely gonna get some skills behind editing because I'm just
Yeah.
gonna pester my teachers until I do get some shots to do that.
Well, I was gonna say I work from home. I mean, I go to games maybe
Hmm.
like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
I cover UNLV, so I cover the basketball team and the football team here at UNLV. So I've been able to go to games, but I work from home every day. And I
Okay.
was gonna say most of my on-camera stuff is on Zoom. Like interviewing athletes, like
Yeah.
all my interviews have been over Zoom.
Right.
They've been they've been like for the past year. Like
Hmm.
I haven't done an in-person interview in a year. So I was gonna say a way for you to do stand-ups is to maybe interview a coach or a player or someone, a high school football player or something on Zoom and just record yourself,
Mm. Okay. Okay.
because for the past year, all my stand-ups have been over Zoom.
Oh, okay. I like that
Like,
idea. Okay.
so you could interview a high school football player, a coach, whoever, and just record your Zoom interview. Because let me tell you, my reel is looks like this. Like,
Wow.
My reel is me at home in my kitchen interviewing the coach.
Okay.
Like, that's my reel.
I
So,
like it. That's
like,
cool. That's pretty
so
cool.
you kind of have to get creative. Like, no, you don't have a camera, but you could record yourself on a Zoom interview and boom, like that's your stand-ups right there, is the questions you're asking the coaches and the players and stuff. Because that's all I have right now besides like the games that I go to.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, that's all the stand-ups that I'm gonna I'm like, I hope companies understand that I've been home for a year and
Right.
this is my set. So,
Which is it? That's a very beautiful painting or a portrait behind you, by
oh,
the way.
thanks. No, I'll show you my little can I flip this screen?
Yes,
Boom.
yes, you can.
I'll show you my little, so I put a chair here
Wow, I
and then
like
this is
that.
my little set. So I got like
That
the Raiders and UNLV.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so
That's
I put a little chair and then yeah, how do I flip it back? Wow, I feel like I'm 80 years old trying to use my phone. How do I flip my phone back? I don't know how to use this.
right, right. I
Well,
totally understand.
even on Zoom with coaches, I am the young one. The coaches are like older, and I'm
Right,
like, I don't know how to use
right. You don't know how to work it. You don't know how to do it. But
and
hey, listen,
they're literally like set up like waiting for me, like they're perfect and they have everything ready and they're just waiting and I'm like
trying to get it together. I understand.
and some of the coaches are looking at me like figure it out. I'm like
Well, you know what the saying is: when in doubt, figure it out. So that's what they say. So
I'm like
that's what
okay,
you do.
it's 2021 and I'm still asking questions muted on Zoom. So
Right. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Right.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. Um, I wanted to ask you, what is the most challenging thing about being in the industry and your job, but what is also the most rewarding thing about being in the industry that
Yeah, I think you have to be very open. You
you
have to
got?
be very open. And that's with life. Like that you just don't know like what's around the corner. Like I went to TCU and I had a very strong plan of staying in Dallas and I worked for the Cowboys in college, so I was like I'm going to stay with the Cowboys forever. Like I'm
Right.
never going to leave Dallas. Like why would I leave Dallas? Like you have the Cowboys and you have all these professional teams. Like I'm never going to leave Dallas. Um, and I was like 21 trying to find a job in Dallas. Like that's not going to happen. So I freelanced right out of college and I freelanced for all the teams in Dallas and I was working like crazy, but I didn't find anything that was like a full-time sports anchor, sports reporter position. I
Right.
was just kind of like working for all the teams, like doing whatever. So I kind of had to like tell myself, okay, I want a full-time sports anchor, sports reporter job where I'm on camera every day. Like I just want that. So I applied to every single job in the country.
Mm.
Montana, Florida, Washington, Massachusetts, Texas, Seattle, whatever. I just applied to every single sports anchor, sports reporter job in the country. And I was like, I just want to be on camera every day so I can get the practice, I can get the reps, I can like
Right.
start building my career.
Right.
So funny story, little bit of humbling moments. I
Okay.
moved from Dallas, like bougie Dallas, like beautiful, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones,
Oh
like
yeah.
bougie Dallas. I moved from Dallas to this tiny, tiny town right outside Morgantown, West Virginia.
Wow.
So, like, I covered WVU and covered WVU football and like moved to this tiny town outside Morgantown, West Virginia. But I took the job because there was no contract. So I
Wow.
could go there, I could build my reel in like 6 months, and I could leave.
Yeah.
So I took this job in West Virginia. I was covering WVU and I was covering Virginia Tech. So I was like, awesome, WVU, Virginia Tech, get my reel and go. So I lived in West Virginia by myself for like a year,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I built a reel. And let me tell you, that reel looked good because I was still covering WVU and Virginia Tech.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, ain't no one knows that I'm like in this tiny little town in the mountains.
Right. Right.
Like
Right.
my reel looked legit. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went to West Virginia, built a reel, and then one of my friends connected me to their friends in Alabama.
Okay.
So my next job was in Huntsville, Alabama,
Okay.
where like I covered Alabama and Auburn and all the SEC and everything.
Okay. So you was in the
Just
South. Okay.
so yeah. So that was like just a year after West Virginia. So like in my mind, I was like, I'm going to live in Dallas. I'm going to stay in Dallas. I'm never going to leave. Why would I leave? Like, I would, but I think the biggest thing I learned is like, you just have to be open. Like,
Okay.
this job comes your way and you're like, is it a good opportunity? Am I going to get a really good reel? I see some of my friends take jobs in like random cities, like in the middle of Texas or whatever. But for me, it was always like, what are the teams am I covering? Like what's gonna look good on my reel? Like
Right.
who am I like? I don't want to just cover like high school hockey. I don't know.
Right. Right.
So every city that I have gone to, I'm like, well, what is going to be on my reel? Because I'm not just going to move to the middle of Texas and just cover whatever. Like I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to have some stuff that I want to cover.
Absolutely.
I see a lot of my friends take jobs in like Montana and Indiana and stuff, and I'm like, well, are you like, what are you covering?
Right. 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 What are you
I'm
doing?
like, so my advice is like, if you move somewhere, make sure you want to cover those teams.
Mhm.
Like, there's a lot of good cities in Alabama and the South that are like smaller towns, but you're covering LSU, you're covering Alabama, you're
Yeah.
covering Georgia, So I should have told myself immediately out of college to apply to some jobs in the South, because say you work for a small station in the South, you're covering LSU and Alabama and Georgia and Auburn,
Right.
and you're going to the national championship. Like,
Right.
so if I could have told myself in college, like, where should I apply for jobs? Oh, I should maybe look in the South, because there's tons of small towns where you can learn, you can grow, you can get those reps, but you're also going to the national championships. So
That's
like,
true. That's true.
yeah. So my advice is like, when you look for jobs, you could be in a small town, but you still could be covering Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Alabama,
Absolutely.
like, and so then your reel looks legit. Like you're at Alabama every day, going to the games and stuff. Like in Huntsville's kind of a small town in
It is.
Alabama, but I like my reel, I was at the playoffs, the national championship. Like it just didn't look like small town Alabama. So that reel in Alabama led me here in Vegas. now things are a little like crazier.
Oh yeah. 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 They progressing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say like the more you move up, the crazier it gets, for sure.
Sure,
Like
and
my
I
life,
love that.
super busy.
I love that. I
super,
love that
super busy.
answer. I really do. And
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of your reels. Absolutely, you do a tremendous
Oh,
job. Absolutely beautiful as well. No
oh,
question
thank
about
you.
that. You are welcome. And you know what resonated with me, what you said was about just the jobs and what you're looking for. A lot of the
Hmm.
teachers out here, you know, they talk about, well, you know, you got to prepare being in the small market. You got to prepare
Hmm.
yourself. You may never get to a big market. And then, you know, I had to stop the teacher right there and be like, whoa, 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 ma'am, I feel what you're saying, but I don't put no limitations on me. I'm the type of person where I
No.
want to continue to grow and continue to be better, continue to talk to people that's in the
Yeah.
profession. So, you know, it's cool to start in a small market, but my goal
Yeah.
is to be in the big time. And I'm going to
Yeah.
grind and work as hard as I possibly can to do that, whether it's
Yeah.
writing, editing, producing, production, anchoring, reporting. I don't care what it is. I'm going to get better and keep on doing that. Now, excuse me, you also said something about the South. When I graduate in July.
Okay,
So
cool.
thank
Turn
you.
up.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it will be. Yes, it will be. Because my mantra is work hard and play hard. So I like to
Oh
work hard, but
yeah.
I like to play hard too.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So I got a bottle of Hennessy waiting on me after I graduate. That's for sure. So, but yeah, you know, my thing is, that's the reason why I wanted to start doing this, and I really went
Yeah.
hard, especially sort of November, December of last year, of talking to
Hmm.
people because I want to be able to not just talk to writers. Because when I first started doing this kind of Zoom thing, talking to people, I would just talk to
Hmm.
writers because that's what I do, and I would talk locally
Hmm.
here in just Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I kind of started to branch out because I started to think about places, one, that I would love to live, two, where jobs would possibly be available, you know. And Vegas is obviously a place I would love to be at, but I started
Hmm.
doing Indiana, started doing Northeast, started doing Midwest, did
Yeah.
more Southern states. Just talking to different writers, producers, and people in the communication field.
That's
That's,
smart.
that's just important to know
Yeah.
what you do on a day-to-day basis, how does it
Yeah.
go, but also connect because I love connecting with people, wonderful people like
Yeah.
yourself, listening to your stories.
Yeah.
Everybody's story is different. That's one thing I have learned.
Yeah. For
Everybody's story is
sure.
different, and everybody's path is different. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I wanted to do.
No, that's cool.
It's a great segue to the next question,
Yeah.
which is: has there ever been a time in your life that you no longer wanted to do sports reporting? And if so, how did you exhibit the resiliency to not quit?
Oh yeah. Yes, there are. Hmm. It. This is kind of a vain answer, but like I don't see my friends and my peers and my family members living such a crazy life like me.
Right.
Like my family's very low key, like they don't have crazy jobs. My friends definitely don't have crazy jobs. Like they work very, very normal 9 to 5 jobs. Like
Right.
they're off work at 3 or 4 and then they're like having dinner and, going out. And like I work on the weekends because I have for the past 10 years. And like on the weekends, my family and friends are all going out and it's San Diego, like it's beautiful and everything.
Whew.
So
Yes, it is.
there are so many moments where I'm like editing until 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, or like I've worked a 12-hour day and I still have a long time, like a long way to go. And I'm just like, damn, like my whole family are just like they're chilling at the beach. All my friends, like they're just, all together in San Diego. So there's a lot of times where I'm like I'm grinding. But I put together a good show. I feel like I do a good show and I do a good job and I'm proud of my work and
You do.
you know thank you. When I see my like the Raiders reached out to me and they said they watch my show and they really like my show and like continue the good work. Like, we're watching you, which I'm like, you are. But it's just kind of like, the head football coach, he, wrote a really nice message to me saying like, I'm proud of all your hard work. Like you're working your ass off. Like, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. So there's just constant reminders where almost where like God's like, I got you, don't
Right.
worry,
Right.
like you're doing a good job, like because there are times where I'm editing for like 12 hours and I'm
Wow.
like just like is I'm there are times where I'm just like exhausted, like just exhausted, like I'm
Yeah.
on my third cup of coffee, like
Right.
monster, like, and I'm just grinding, like interviews, games, writing highlights, editing interviews, doing interviews. Like it's just like a constant, like I feel like a little mouse on a wheel. And
Right.
then I see like the rest of my friends and family, they just live a very normal life.
Right.
So I always look at like the ESPN reporters or like Maria Taylor or like Laura Rutledge. Like, I always look at the ESPN reporters and I'm like, they worked their ass off to
They
get
do.
there,
They do.
and like they've had to make a lot of sacrifices, and like, but it's my dream to be on SEC Nation or like host a show for ESPN. Like that's a dream of mine. So while I see my family just all kind of sit back and chill, and like my friends, like they are in San Diego, they're just like living that beach life, like
Right.
they
Right.
don't have any careers. So like when I'm by myself at the station, like editing just a crazy amount of time and like just by myself grinding, I just have to remind myself like, okay,
Okay. I like it.
okay, we're doing this. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, there's going to be days where you're by yourself at the station and you have 24 hours of work to get done, and like you're grinding it out, like almost like writing a paper, you're just like, you got to get it done and everything. And then you
Yeah.
look on your phone and like all your friends are like at the beach hanging out, or like your whole family's on vacation in Hawaii or something, something
Right.
crazy like that. And
Right.
you're by yourself at the station, like I'm doing this. So yeah, there's going to be moments where you're by yourself wherever you move, wherever life takes you, and you're by yourself editing your work, and you live in Chicago or wherever you live, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to grind because I have some goals and we're going to do this and I'm going
That's
to do a
right.
good job, and people are going to notice my work, and important people are going to start noticing my work, and I'm going to start getting emails, I'm going to start getting phone calls, people at ESPN are going to start following me, looking at my stuff, and that's how this goes. Like the better content, the good stuff you put out there, the good work you put out there, agents will start emailing you, they'll start calling you, people from ESPN and other people from different teams will start being like, hey, I watch you, like I watch your show, I watch. And I'm like, you do? I'm like, oh no. But it's cool, it's like, it's almost like when Kobe Bryant talks about like the grind and like the dream,
Yeah.
it's getting to practice at 6 a.m. and being there before everyone. And the
Right.
dream is really like the work you put in after practice where like no one's watching, and like that's the dream. Like, all his rings and everything, he's like, that's great. But really, the dream is me waking up at 5 a.m. and going to work, and like, all of that. So I always think about like Kobe Bryant, and he's like, the dream is the grind.
No,
Like,
that's good. I like it. I like it.
he's like, yeah, I mean, there's just so many moments where you're like, oh, I want to be on ESPN now, or I want to get there now.
Yeah.
But I always think about Kobe Bryant saying like, nah, like the dream is you grinding. That's the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of things that you said resonated with me, but at least three and very important things that you said. And to end it, what you ended with was the journey. It's always about the journey. It's always about the grind. It's always about the hard work. Because my motto is, is that if you really want it, you got to work for it. And my dad kind of drilled that into me as a kid early, and I'm like,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a kid, I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. But now,
Yeah.
but now as an adult, I do. I understand. A lot of people look at you, Paloma, and they see you in hosting shows in front of the camera. But like you said, they don't really know the hard work that you put in behind the
Yeah.
scenes. They just see the beautiful face just talking about sports and breaking down stuff and hosting TV shows, the in front stuff.
Hmm.
But the behind the scenes is what I really
Yeah.
respect about you as well, because you do work hard and you deserve your roses. You deserve to be where you are right now because you
Thank
you do
you.
deserve your roses. So there's a
Thank
lot of
you.
people that could have had your position that probably
Yeah.
applied for your position, but
Yeah.
there's a reason why they picked you out. You stood out, and that's why you deserve the roses that you deserve. The second thing that resonated with me was the friends. I know that personally, being here, I have a good amount of friends that love to go to the bar, that love to hang
Yeah.
out, that love to turn up, that love to dance and go to parties and this, that. And
Yeah.
I'm a night owl. I'm somebody that loves to go out too. Like I told you
Yeah.
earlier, it's work hard, play
Yep.
hard. So I
Yeah.
like that. But, when my friends are asking me to go out to those places, I say, nah, bro, I got to go cover a game. I got to do that.
Yeah.
Or, nah, my man, I
Yeah.
can't do that. I'm talking to people like you and trying to get knowledge, trying to build a connection, and just try to be a sponge and learn from people's experiences and advice that they give me. And they're like, well, why are you doing that? I understand, bro. You don't understand what I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
the only people that understand what you're trying to do is the people that's either trying to be in your shoes or they're actually in your shoes. You know,
Hmm.
so that's the
Yeah.
only people that can understand what I'm talking about. So that resonated with me as well. And then the last thing that resonated with me was the long hours
Hmm.
that you talked about,
Yeah.
editing for the 12 hours. Like I told you, I work 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. full time. One week I work
Yeah.
5 days. The next week I work
Oh.
2 days. I have 7 classes this semester. I told you I wrote
Dang.
critique and I do a sports. So my time management
Yeah.
skills are probably at a 200%
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
got I got to be able to manage my time to be able to do all those homework and assignments for classes, also work
Hmm.
and do different things like that. And I also work a part-time job at the school where I do event security. So I love to be busy. I love doing a lot
Hmm.
of different things. So for me, that is just preparing me for when I do get into this industry and I do have those
Hmm.
long days. I already know some of the jobs that I've had, they've been rough.
Yeah.
No question about it. So
Yeah.
getting into this industry would be great. Quick
Yeah.
story before I get into the
Yeah.
next question.
Yeah.
So my first internship was with the Knoxville Ice Bears.
Okay.
Now,
I know who those are.
you know who they are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
SPHL, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I
So
know them.
I know that I like that. I like that. That's what's up. So I had an internship with them, and I got that
Hmm.
internship going to an Atlanta Falcons career fair.
Hmm.
And the boss called me up of the team and said, "Hey, Chris, it's a game day operations internship. We would love for you to come and work the rest of the season." He called me in like
Hmm.
December to April. That was the time frame. Now, mind you, this is the first time I've ever worked with a sports like anything. So I was excited that they called. Number one.
Yeah.
But number
Yeah.
two, I didn't think it out. Paloma, I was so excited that I really didn't take the time to think it out because one, I was living at home at the time, and
Hmm.
two, I had no car. So I was
Oh.
living at home, no car, and I just started a full time job. Now I'm still at that full time job, but I'm at a different position
Hmm.
now. As I told you, I'm overnight. At that time, I
Hmm.
was working 8 to 5, Sunday through Thursday,
Hmm.
and the game day internship was Friday, Saturdays. Me being in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Plus, I've never been to Tennessee before in my life either. So all these factors, right? So what
Yeah.
I ended up doing was taking an Uber to the MARTA station that we have out here, and I would take the mega
Hmm.
bus from Atlanta to Knoxville for the next 3.5 months, working this game day internship 7 days a week, pretty much full time,
Wow.
and doing that.
Yeah.
But I had a moment when I was sitting in a hotel because I was also when I had got to Knoxville, I had to take the Knoxville Transit to get to my hotel, and I paid for that. So I had a moment, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Because this is non-paid.
Yeah.
It's a game
Yeah.
day internship. I'm trying to
Yeah.
save for a car. I'm trying to get my own place. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this, I don't know if I want to do sports this damn bad. Because even, I
Yeah.
mean, the stuff I was doing will call for tickets. People was getting their tickets. And after I got done with them, I had to go play with the kids in the bounce house and play with the kids in the hockey. And I'm like, I'm running around. These kids are going to be ragged. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this to get into those sports stuff. But
Yeah.
I made a decision and I said, anything that I've ever started, I've never quit. So
Mm.
I wanted to finish out this internship and leave a good impression with the bosses, and I did. He wrote me a great recommendation, and but I also realized determination, dedication, hard work, sacrifice, and also what I
Yeah.
didn't want to do, which was game day operations. And that's when I
Yeah.
made the decisive decision to go to journalism. Now, fast forward a few years later, and now I have my own place. I have my own car, and now I'm about to be a graduate in July. And I've also picked up more experience because of that. But those traits I
Yeah.
learned from that first internship because the megabus trips was brutal. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
they
How
were
far is Atlanta from Knoxville?
4 hours,
Far.
so it's eight
Yeah,
hours
so that's
to but back and forth.
far.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dang.
I remember that because I was like, I wanted it so bad. I wanted to be, I still do, still want to be in sports so bad that I just wanted to have somebody just give me an opportunity and a chance.
Hmm.
And I still have that mindset today of just, there's a quote that somebody gave me that I was doing an interview like this with you that I hold on to, and that is to be confident but be teachable. And
Hmm.
when he told me that, it stuck with me because I definitely want to be confident in my skills, but I also want to
Hmm.
continue to be a sponge and learn
Oh,
from
yeah.
people. And because I don't know it all, and I'll never know it
Yeah.
all, so it's always great to learn from wonderful people like yourself and others that's in the industry. So, but yeah, that's the story I wanted to tell before I
That's
got into the next
crazy.
question. Yeah, that's wild,
But
right?
at least that's like, if that's how you started, it can only go up.
Right?
Like, sometimes you got to have those, like, that adversity where you're like, shit, I if I can do that,
Yes.
like, there's nothing there's nothing in my way,
Right.
like, that was your first sports job. Like, a lot of people in the industry will say, like, yeah, I moved to Montana and it was negative 25 every day and I covered high school football.
Right. Right.
So it's
So,
kind of like that first experience where you're like, it can only go up.
and it only could go up. I'm telling
But
you, it was one thing.
you learned so much from it,
I
and
did.
it made you a better person.
It did. It sure did. And like
Yeah.
I said, it taught me a lot of different things and taught me to get a car very fast. Because not to rely on mega buses no more and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it just made me
Yeah.
more appreciative of the things that
Hmm.
I would acquire as far as the traits and the car, the home, and stuff like that, and to make sure
Yeah.
that I keep ascending. So that's it.
Yeah.
But great segue to this question. What is your
Yeah.
favorite memory that you have done in the industry thus far, and why?
Hmm. Well, there's so many,
Oh, you can have more than one.
but hmm. I don't know. There was a lot of really great memories in Alabama,
Okay.
obviously, with Alabama and the SEC and everything. And I
Mhm.
covered Tua and that whole Tua and Jalen Hurts
Oh yeah.
era, which was amazing. I was like, this is so cool. But yeah, there's a lot of moments where, and once you get out there in the industry, you will be like, oh my gosh, I'm covering Tom Brady. Like, I don't want to freak out that I'm covering Tom Brady, but like, I'm covering. So there's a lot of moments in my career where I'm like, oh my god, that's Deshaun Watson. Like,
Right.
I'm sitting down with Deshaun Watson, or like, there's just a lot of moments where you're like, I can't believe I'm sitting down with Nick Saban. Like,
Wow. Okay, so a lot
there's
of
just,
pinch me moments.
yeah, but you have to be cool because you're like, I'm a sports reporter, I'm
Right.
professional.
Right.
But I've learned that coaches and players, like I have always kept it real. Like how
I
I'm
love it.
talking to you
Yeah.
is how I talk to coaches, which is very, very different. Cause like a lot of sports reporters and sports writers are like very, very professional and like ask questions very like they just stick to like their script and like their
Right.
questions, and they're
Right.
very like, coach, you guys lost the game, blah blah blah, like just very, very. And how I'm talking to you is how I talk to every single person in my interviews, whether they're Nick Saban or a high school football coach.
Right.
You know, I don't change for like any which one, unless a coach gets fired or like unless the starting quarterback breaks his arm, then I switch my tone up. Like, you know, I get serious and professional. But something that's helped my career is just being yourself, and like no matter who you're
Okay.
interviewing, like you're interviewing Tom Brady or, you know, whoever, be yourself. Because some sports reporters are like, I have to be serious, and I'm interviewing Tom Brady and I have to be serious, and because Nick Saban's serious, I have to be serious. No, like a lot of coaches have really opened up to me, and a lot of coaches have really kind of relaxed more because I'm relaxed. And like I've gotten some great interviews from coaches who are like really, you know, kind of
Yeah.
closed and
Yeah.
hard, and they're just a coach and they just want to talk about football and like we lost the game, blah blah blah. But once I start asking them questions and I kind of develop a relationship with them, then these coaches kind of like, okay, she's cool, so like
Right. Right. Absolutely.
so I tend to get like great interviews from players and coaches because I just keep it real with them. Like I keep it real. You know, sometimes athletes are a little shy, a little like, well, I don't know her, and like she works on the news, like she's going to report bad stuff about me, like,
Right.
you know, I don't know her. And then I start interviewing them and they're like, okay, she's talking to me like how I'm talking to you. So like, you know, that is something that has really helped me in my career, is like, be yourself. Be yourself. How you're talking to me, Chris, is how you should talk to everyone.
Oh,
Like,
no question. Uh, with me,
yeah,
that's probably the best answer you gave. I have more questions, but that's the best answer you gave so far.
yeah,
You know, and that goes not just to the job and the occupation that you have, but it goes to a lifestyle. You know,
yeah,
if you're not comfortable with self, how can you be comfortable around others?
yeah,
It's just no way that you can do that. And the same way that I am communicating to you, it'd be not only if we were sitting on the couch like you're doing right now and I'm doing right now, we were at a bar, we were walking down a grocery aisle
yeah,
store, well, I'll be talking the same way to you. You get the same Chris.
yeah,
Or if we were
yeah.
in a professional meeting setting, it would be to the point of I'm talking the same way to you because
Mhm.
Chris
Mhm.
is not going to change because Chris
Yeah.
loves himself, just like Paloma loves herself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
another motto I live by is if you don't love yourself, how can you love others? How can
Yeah.
you be yourself around others? You just can't. There's just no way because you'll be faking it. And
Mhm.
you never want to be fake in an industry like this because they can sniff it out and smell it real quick.
Man, real quick. I don't want to like I don't want to dish on, I don't like to talk negative, but like there are some people in this industry where I'm like, bro, you're on air
Hmm.
and you're like completely different in person.
Right.
Like there's so many talent and reporters or whatever that are like, you know, all smiley and bubbly on air and whatever. And then in person, they're like not that nice of a person. And I'm
Right.
like, dude, like someone I look up to is like Maria Taylor
Hmm.
and like Laura Rutledge. Like I've met those girls in person, and like
Oh, okay.
I got you, I'm back. They are how they are on TV, how
Hmm.
Maria Taylor is on TV. That's exactly how they are in person.
Right.
Like if you were to go up to Maria Taylor and say, "Hey, I'm Chris," she would act just how she acts on TV.
which is
So
great.
like that is something that I respect. Like if you meet me in person and you get to know me, it is exactly how I am on TV. So
Well,
like, you know.
I'm sure there's people that would love to be around you because you are just an absolute pleasure to talk to. There's no question about
Thank
it. So I'm
you.
sure that a lot of people out there in Vegas are very lucky and ecstatic to be your friend and to
Yeah.
know you, no doubt.
Yeah.
So I asked you about your favorite memory. Now I'm going to ask you about what is an event that you would like to cover, but you simply haven't yet, and why?
Yeah. I have never covered the Super Bowl. Because I'm still very young in my career.
Yeah.
But I have never covered it. But the Super Bowl is coming to Vegas sometime. I think 2024. It's not official, but I've
Yeah.
done my research and I think the Super Bowl is going to come here in 2024. Of course at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
But that would be dope. That would be dope. Like that
Who
is
you
like I put
telling?
it on my resume,
Yeah.
like I put it on my resume at the very top. Like it says Paloma Villicana and then it says like covered a Super Bowl. Like
I could
where you
totally see
put
you doing
your
that. I really could.
where you put
Yeah.
your phone number and your address. Nah, like it just
Nah,
says
nah. Cover
covered
the
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl,
Cover the Super Bowl.
you know.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That would
Yeah.
probably be outside of the Olympics, which I think all sports reporters
Oh,
would
okay.
love to do.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl. But that has a sentimental thing for me because of my dad. I can remember sitting at the table talking to him just probably just a couple years ago. And I told him, I said, Dad, I plan on being a sports journalist and reporter, and I'm going to take you to the Super Bowl with me. And he looked at me
Oh,
and said,
yeah.
You're crazy as hell. You crazy. Ain't no way we're going to the damn Super Bowl. I was like,
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm going to be a
Yeah.
sports reporter and journalist. I'm going to work hard. And I promise you, you and I, we're going to go to the Super Bowl together. And he said, and then he looked at me again with a different kind of look, and he was like, "If you do that, that would make my day." Because I remember us
Yeah.
growing up, or me growing up, watching the Super Bowls with him, and that's an event he always wanted to be at. And I
Yeah.
said I would definitely take him if I had
Oh,
the right.
that's good.
So
That's great goals.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely a bucket list goal of mine, no doubt.
For sure.
Um, this next question has to do with interviews.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship, I should say, with teamwork online and work in sports and all these different sites where you can apply for these sports positions. I get my
Mhm.
cover letter together, get my resume
Mhm.
together, and I send it in based on the postings. And it feels like
Mhm.
you're sending it into space because you don't know where the hell it's going. You
Yeah.
don't know if it's getting
Yeah.
read or anything. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, Paloma, I think personally, the reason why they're putting these postings up is for legal purposes, so that they can
Yeah.
say that they posted it, and it's
Yeah.
there and whatnot. That's
Mhm.
what I think. But they know internally they're going to hire somebody. A lot of these companies like to hire internally. That's what they do. So I certainly say that to set up the question of what is the best way to get interviews with companies? Is it going online, or is it emailing producers and directors at stations, sending in
Mhm.
your resume, or is it
Yeah.
talking with talented professionals like yourself, building a connection?
Yeah. Yeah. I think all of that, but I was aggressive when I was looking for a job, which you always want to be aggressive.
Yeah,
I have never been like, oh, I'm just not going to apply there. I just don't know if they'll like my reel. Like, that's not been my mindset. Like,
I got you.
because I don't know, out of college, I thought I was going to be in Dallas. I don't know. But I have just kept this mindset. Like, I have always emailed the news directors. I have gone on station websites and have just found the news director's email, the assistant news director's email, whoever's email. And I just be like, here's my reel, here's my resume, here's my work. I'm interested. Whether you're hiring or not, because like a little story, but
Okay.
My boyfriend is a sports reporter here in Vegas, and I was working in Alabama at the time, and he was like, well, the Fox station here in Vegas may be hiring another sports reporter, but like they don't know. And like there's no job posting of a sports reporter position at Fox 5 here in Vegas. Like there wasn't. But I sent my reel and my resume to their news director, and he never responded. And I would send my reel and my resume to their news director maybe like, I don't know, once a month. And he never responded. And then I was like, I don't care. So I applied to all the positions at Fox 5. Morning anchor, morning reporter, producer, editor, all the positions at Fox 5. Because I was like, listen, if I apply to all these, they're gonna see my reel. Like they're gonna see it.
Right.
So I applied to all the open positions, photographer, everything at Fox 5.
Okay.
The news director emailed me right after.
Wow.
And I was like, I mean, it only took me to apply to all your positions.
for you to see me, yeah.
Exactly. So he emailed me, he saw my reel, and he goes, we don't have a sports reporter position open, but we do need to add more sports people because sports are growing here in Vegas.
Yeah.
So he turned one of the news reporter positions and he just changed it into a sports reporter position. So they created this sports reporter position for me.
Gotcha.
So that's God being like, I got this. Like God was like, we're going to create this position that you have now here in Fox 5. Mm-hmm. So they created this sports reporter position and then hired me, which is, that's crazy. Very, very crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have been like, if you don't hear back, keep emailing them and keep posting your work and showing people your work. And yeah, I've just been super, super aggressive with like emailing news directors get thousands of emails, you know, they like your email might get buried or something, but like, I don't know. I applied to all the positions at my station, and then I got an email and a call back right away.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like if you want to continue to just be aggressive, and sometimes when I was looking for jobs, I messaged people on Twitter and say, hey, I applied to this position at your work. Like, could you let your news director or your boss know that like I applied and I'm interested? Or like I messaged people on Instagram and Twitter and said like I applied to your station. Can you put me in contact with your news director? Or like yeah, you just gotta like push because like if you just email, oh, my phone's dying, I'm gonna grab my charger, but if you just like email a news director or a boss and they don't respond, you just got to be like aggressive.
Yeah,
I was aggressive with this position and here we are. So
yeah, I like it. I'm naturally assertive. I'll call it being assertive. You know what I'm
assertive.
saying? Yeah,
that's a better word.
I like that. I like that. I call it being that. That's what you are, no doubt. And I naturally am too. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people say, or teachers have said, oh well, because I've always asked them, how many times is too much to email somebody and hit them up about a job? And teachers be like, well, you might want to email them, do the 3 email rule. And I'm like, 3 email rule? Like, wait a minute. This is something I really want. I don't want to just do 3 emails. I mean, you never know. They might be busy at this time. They might be, like you said, they might get a lot of different emails at that time and get buried. So what do I know if they read my 3rd email or my 1st or 2nd email? So that's why I was like, maybe I should keep doing it. And then, eventually if you do it enough, they'll either tell you stop emailing me, or they're going to give you some kind of answer and say, hey, this is what we have available or whatnot. I have 2 more questions. And you've been absolutely great.
Yeah. Let me grab my phone charger real quick. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Because my phone is dying.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see here. I think it's Zoom. Zoom kills my battery, I think.
Yeah, it does on my phone too. That's why I'm on my laptop.
Yeah. I should have just opened my laptop, but it's all good. Okay. Let's
So
see if I can get it. Okay. We
I wanted
Gucci.
to ask you about social life. Now you mentioned
Yeah.
that you had
Hmm.
a boyfriend, so obviously you probably
Hmm.
don't fit. You're not gonna fit into my realm, which is being single. But it's very difficult to try to get dates. It's very difficult to try to hang out with friends at times because you're always working long hours and you're chasing your dream.
Hmm. Yeah.
And also it's family. Sometimes, I've known now that I've kind of dived into, school and senior year and just being, more entrenched into covering games and writing. I'm seeing my mother less and less now,
Hmm.
which I don't like that too much because
Yeah.
I'm a natural mama's boy, so I love
Hmm.
seeing mama. My dad lives
Yeah.
in upstate New York, so I still can call him
Okay.
and talk to him. But
Yeah.
the question is, how do you deal with the social life and being able to have that balance? Because I'm sure as your boyfriend, as a reporter, that you
Yeah.
probably the to me, in my opinion, and I'm just gonna say it, the only person that really could be a significant other to you is probably somebody in the same position as you. Because if you don't have a likewise position, they can't understand
Yeah.
your hours and your work schedule. So how do you balance that?
Yeah. Um, I've had a lot of relationships where my life is too crazy for them, and I'm telling you, I miss vacations,
Yeah.
birthdays,
Yep.
bachelorette parties, weddings. I
Yep.
miss it all. And like some people that you date are going to be like, I don't understand.
Right.
And some people that you date are going to be like, you're never home, you're always at work, you're always on the road traveling for games and everything. So yeah, I mean, I'm thankful that my boyfriend and I live very, 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 very similar lives where like
Right.
he understands if I'm working until 2 in the morning because he's working until 2 in the morning, or
Right.
like, I have 15-hour days, he has 15-hour days. So yeah, I think through all of my journey, and I can just say this for myself, um, the people that I've dated that haven't had this like crazy, they just work 9 to 5, it's a different life. Like my friends, my family members, like everyone that's really close to me, they do not work like this.
Right.
So
Right.
like, I think my friends are used to it, but I don't get invited on trips. I don't get invited on birthday parties. I don't get invited on bachelorette parties anymore cuz like I think my friends are just like she's busy and she's working and she can't go to Cabo for, whatever. But I think that's kind of been the hardest part. I'm still like in my 20s and I still want to have
Yep.
fun and like go out and party and like, I do. Like that would be nice to live that life, but I have had to like really swallow that like this is my career, like this is my job. There are a lot of people here in Vegas that watch me in my show and stuff, and like I got to do a good job. So there's just like this internal understanding of like I'm not going to see my friends a lot. I'm not going to see my family a lot. But I still really enjoy what I do.
Right.
And there are some people in this industry where they're like, I can't do this. Like I am really, really close to my family and I can't do this. So that not that I want to be like intimidating, like this job will weed you out.
Yeah.
But if you look at your idols, like people you look up to, like, whoever it is on TV that you look up to, like they've just had to make hella sacrifices. Like huge sacrifices. Like, they've moved all over the country their whole career, but I think it's important for your family to understand your life. Like, I'm Mexican, my family's very traditional about being together and being together on Christmas and holidays and stuff. And I'm like the white sheep. I'm like, well, I gotta work. Like, I gotta work. I have a game. I have a game on Christmas. Like,
Right.
I have a game on Thanksgiving. Like, the Cowboys played on Thanksgiving every year.
Every
So
year.
yeah. So I think once you get in this industry, it's going to be important for your family to understand and realize and really understand that you're going to be busy and you're going to be on the road traveling. Because even now, my mom is still like, she's like, damn, I haven't heard from you all day. Like, why aren't you texting or calling me? And I'm like, because I can't. I can't. So I think, one, it's going to be awesome when you start sports reporting. You're going to be like, this is amazing. I love this. Like, I'm working my ass off. Like, this is amazing. I love my job. Like, I really love my job. But your friends and your family are going to be like, what? You don't come home anymore. You're never around. Like,
Yeah.
so I think it's going to take your family and friends a minute to be like, well, shoot. But then they're going to be like, damn, she's or he's, like, on this show. He's talking to this person.
Right.
He's doing this. Like, he's got his own show, his own podcast. He's, and so, yeah, I think a lot of my friends are like, we understand that you can't make it to everything, but like, look at your career. So
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of like
It's a lot of juggle. It is.
it's a lot, and it's all about how your family is too. Like, obviously everyone's different, but that was the hardest hurdle for me, is to let my family know I'm going to move all over the country for this job. I'm going to be on the East Coast, the West Coast, North, South. So, and like, I don't know, but my whole family is like, they're still in California. Like, no one ever left California. Like, a lot of my family members, like, no one went to college. A lot of my families, like, everyone has stayed in California. So they look at me and they're like, I don't know what she's doing.
Right. I can
My
totally
grandparents
relate.
are like, my grandparents are like, I don't know, what is she doing? Like, where is she? And I'm like, whatever. But
I
when
can.
y'all see me on ESPN covering the Super Bowl, like, you'll know where
Right.
I'll be. So,
Right. They're like, that's my baby. That's my baby.
yeah, when I'm on TV at these big events, like, where I am now. So.
That's awesome. That is awesome. No, that's really good. I've always wondered about that because, like I said, I told you I'm a night owl. I told you I'm a people person. And it's been difficult here in college because I have everything going with the full-time job, the part-time job, the classes, just everything in general. And it's been tough because every time I try to go out and let them know that I'm going to be a sports reporter, and let them know that I'm covering games on Friday night, and I'm up late trying to get this deadline of a story in because I only got 45 minutes to write about 4 quarters and all these stats that I have, and I'm at a McDonald's trying to get Wi-Fi.
Remember, Kobe Bryant. That's the dream right there.
Right.
Like,
right.
The writing at McDonald's. That's the freaking dream.
Yes. I had to literally pull my car over. I had to do at least 5, 6 times. Pull my car over and write on my laptop, and I'm just typing. And then my editor, but the reward is my editor will come back and say, "Good job, good job, you got it."
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, cool, because I think my first article I took an hour and a half to write it because I was so nervous. I didn't want to leave out any detail, and I got quicker as each game that I progressed.
Yeah.
But I like that answer. I'll do.
No.
The last question I have is, what is some advice that someone has given you, or you have given someone that is an up and coming sports media person?
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much. I think every job you really learn, like you really learn so much every single job. And I guess the different coaches and the different athletes that you're around, like you just really learn from them. It's so weird, but right now I'm covering UNLV and UNLV football, and um their head coach, he's really like, he really wants you to work hard, obviously. But there's a lot of things I pick up from listening to him in my interviews where he's like, just if you didn't, I know this is going to sound so dumb, but like if you didn't do your best today, just work harder tomorrow. Like if you kind of had a bad story or a bad show, or if you had, you thought that wasn't my best work last night, or like that show was not my best show, or like that wasn't my best article, work harder tomorrow. Like tomorrow you can always do a better job. So there's little things I pick up from which is so corny because he's like a head football coach, but I
It's
really
good, but you're
try.
right. It's a little corny.
Yeah, like I really try and listen to the coaches and the players
Yeah.
and a lot of the athletes that I interview. And like I've interviewed a lot of coaches, so there's just little things where I pick up from them, and I'm like, okay, I'm working my butt off and I'm like exhausted, but I'm gonna keep going because so when you start meeting different people and Dabo and like all these awesome coaches that really look up to, I keep their interviews, and when they're done with when we're done with my interview, I go back and listen, and sometimes I write things down from the coaches that
Yep.
I interviewed, because I'm like, they said some really good stuff that I could, not that I'm a football player, but I could I can take this stuff away. So there's a lot of things I write down for my interviews where sometimes those quotes, like, they just help me at midnight when I'm editing all by myself, and I'm like, well, the coach said this, so I'm gonna
Absolutely.
keep
Absolutely.
working hard. But yeah, I mean, when you re-listen to interviews and stuff, you pick up a lot. And there's just a like a book that I have of like tons of quotes and like just little messages that I've kept from coaches over the year. And maybe when I get like super old, I'm going to be like, look at this historic book of Nick Saban. I'm going to show my grandkids, like, Nick Saban said this in
Right. Right.
2010. But
They were like, Nick
yeah,
who?
so yeah, they're going to be like, I don't what, and then
Right.
maybe Alabama is going to suck in like 50 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're going to be like, Mom, you covered Alabama?
That's
They're like,
awesome.
Alabama sucks.
Not in my heyday. Not in my heyday,
Oh my
baby.
God, I know, right? Like the Raiders, my parents were really big Raiders fans growing up in LA, and my dad has all these stories about the Raiders. And then me growing up, I was like, Dad, the Raiders suck. Like,
Yeah. 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 I'm a Charger fan all day long. All
yeah.
day long.
Did you follow Philip Rivers? Are you a Colts fan now?
No, well, I'm not a Colts
No.
fan, but I'm still a Phillip Rivers fan. You know, he played
Yeah.
for us so long, so I
Yeah.
always loved Phillip Rivers. I remember going to the games when it was, if you remember, it was, I was very young, but I think Jack Murphy Stadium, like Jack Murphy Stadium, and then Qualcomm.
Oh, dang. Yeah,
Yeah,
Qualcomm. Yeah.
Qualcomm. So yeah, when I lived in San Diego, I lived in North Park and I
Okay,
lived in
cool.
Mission Valley. So
Cool.
those were the two spots. And literally, when I lived in Mission Valley,
You're right there.
right across the street from the stadium, that's
Yeah.
where I lived.
Oh, cool.
So
Very
yeah, right
cool.
there, where you can catch the I believe the 15 and the 163, where if you roll down,
Yeah.
you be at Fashion Valley on Prize Road. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love that time at the stadium.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my dream job is to actually be a beat reporter for the Padres
Oh,
because
that's
I would love to
awesome.
cover that team, especially as good as they got now with the players that they
Yeah.
acquired. Uh,
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be
No,
great.
they're up there, which is funny because my whole life I've said that the Padres suck. So
Oh, they have. They sucked our whole lives. Yeah, they have. They have. No doubt. They sucked our whole. Oh, hello? 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 She down. She down. I think I lost her, but that's all good. Uh, She'll call. I think. Maybe. Okay. All right. Thank you. I lost you. Oh, here we go.
I'm so sorry.
No, you.
I'm so sorry. So my phone died.
No, you're good.
I didn't plug it in.
No, you're good. I just wanted to follow up by saying that for starters, uh, I really do thank you for your time and for you answering the questions. You answered every question terrific. I had a chance to, like I said, see a couple of your reels. I went on YouTube and typed your name in, and I saw a couple of things because that's what I like to do. I like to, I like to see you in action and what you do, and you do such a great job, and that's only goes to you and your preparation. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. I also wanted to say that I'm following you on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I hope that you follow me back. I really do. But if you don't, that's okay. That's all right. But I'm hoping that you do. I would also at some point like to send you some of my reels. I'm going to be doing some later in the semester. I would love your expertise and your critique. I know you're a very busy lady, so whenever you can, that'd be great. I would definitely love to just keep in touch with you as a fellow San Diegoan. I love it. I love meeting new people and connecting with new people. You seem like just an awesome woman to be around and know. I will be in Vegas this year. That is part of my graduation present. So in July, I probably will be in Vegas, and I'm gonna have a damn good time while I'm there. I'm just no question. So
you gotta go check out the stadium. It's sick.
My dad, who had a chance to go out to Vegas because of work, he told me that they got a tour of the stadium. I'm hoping that they are doing tours because if they are, I certainly will check it out. You guys got a T-Mobile arena down there too, so I will check that out. But oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun there in Vegas. That's for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out.
Cool. Thanks so much. And I you can send me whatever. I have some girls will send me stuff, but don't like if you want to send me something you did and it's like 30 seconds long, whatever. Like it doesn't have to be like a perfect reel, you know. If you just want to send me a clip of something, you can send me a 5-minute reel, you can send me whatever. I feel like a lot of girls that I talk to are like, well, I don't have a real like and I'm like, you can send me an interview you did or
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm always here, and yeah, whatever. If you and especially if you ever have any questions, like, hey, I'm talking to this person and I don't know how to go about this interview, or like
right.
any questions, like I'm here and I'm always willing to help.
And I do appreciate that. Also, since this is my graduation year, and I'll definitely be on the job market in July because I love the lottery, but I want to pursue something in my field.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if you do hear something, listen, you may not, but it
yeah,
doesn't have to be a Fox 5, could be anything in Vegas. It could be a little
yeah,
tiny small town outside of Vegas, like you was in West Virginia. It could be one of those.
yeah,
But if you do hear anything, I would love to hear about it.
yeah.
If you hear about it. So yeah.
Okay,
So
for sure. Yeah, I'll keep my ears open. And like I said, Alabama, all the southern states,
I'm checking them
that
out.
that's your bread and butter right there. Like that is a amazing place to start small. Start small, but like go to the national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely gonna hit these
Like,
places up for sure.
oh yeah, Florida, like all these markets. Like you could be somewhere outside of Miami, like a small town outside of Miami. You could be freaking covering Miami,
Right,
you could be
right.
covering the team. So yeah, I mean, best of luck, and finish strong, and turn up for your birthday and your graduation.
Yes, birthday's coming in a couple weeks, which is February 2nd. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
February 1st.
You February 1st?
I'm February 1st.
Wow, another Aquarius. Look at that. That's why we got a good
Aquarius.
connection, girl. I love it. Look at that. I would have
Okay.
never guessed it. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
February
Absolutely.
1st.
Well, I will
Cool.
definitely send you a happy birthday message
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
If it's okay with you, I'll leave my contact information also in there as well.
You
Um,
cut out.
I
Awesome.
said I will send a happy birthday to you message, and I will leave my contact information as well,
Yeah, for
just to
sure.
stay in touch. But yes, you
Cool.
enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon, and
Yeah,
we will be
same.
in touch. Trust
Yeah, wake up.
me.
All right, Chris, take care.
Take care, Paloma.
Bye.
Bye.